I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin, and in this video we're going to have a look at VerveTV. The actual IDO is today, the launch will follow shortly. Is this going to do 100x as I predicted? Let's have a look. Nothing in this video is financial advice, it is for entertainment purposes only. The IDOs are definitely unstable at the moment. So as of the Bitcoin crash as of last month, or not a real crash, but a downward movement, it is stabilizing right now. Is this good for the launch of Verve? Right? These IDO launches, specifically the major ones, are heavily influenced by market conditions. That's why we often see that market conditions have a strong influence. If an IDO is actually going to happen or they're going to postpone. Verve is not postponing, it's actually open. So they say it's open on BSC's pad right now. They did an AMA yesterday, the IDO is up, and we'll have a look at how everything is going, when we can expect the token generation event, and if this would be a good entry or if the market is a little bit too unstable and we have to adjust our price prediction. So there's a first come first serve round on BSC's pad happening in 3 hours 39 minutes. So when you're watching this video, probably in 3 hours or 2 hours. Allocation round, 2,400 people almost participated. So I basically want to know, with the current market conditions as of today, is there enough hype for a 100x launch, right? So I'm going to make a little bit of a comparison to see if that actually can happen, which I think is the most important thing. So this is the private round, right, which is important to note when we look at the tokenomics. So when we do go to the tokenomics on the actual private round, so there's the team, advisors, liquidity, ecosystem, reserve, seed sale, private sale, and then a public sale, right? So this is the private round on BSC pad, SS type private, or maybe they're doing the public round and it's just private for BSC pad. That makes sense because private rounds are usually done a long time before that. They host the public. I'm quite sure that they're hosting the public. See, the numbers even going up. I think it just shot up a little bit, so more people are participating. The total raise in this case is $100,000, where whoa, it's like literally 0.001. Yeah, here we go, the public price. So they're doing the public sale, which makes sense. With the public sale, obviously you have access or less access to smaller allocation. When you look at the private, has the highest one. I'm not really sure. I think I did the private sale a while ago. I'm not doing the public myself. But anyway, the low TGE amount for me is fine, and these projects basically run long term. So I can't really recall top of my head, but I think I get 10% TGE and then daily linear investing. If we go to the schedule, the allocation has already happened. The first come first serve prepare, first come first serve start is up next, which is basically happening in about 3 hours, just as per this timer. The allocation of the participants are 2,400 seats shooting up. So this will definitely go fast. $100,000 with 2,400, which basically means on average, right? On average, people would get, well, let's say $4 is 10,000, so $40 on average each on Verve. And that's obviously because they are in the public round, which is extremely competitive. When we would take into consideration the public round, right? I don't know what the actual vesting looks like for the public, but I assume it's also something like 10% TGE. I think most of these Bluezilla incubated projects have 10% TGE. So in that case, we're looking at probably, if you would get a $40 allocation, I do know that in my actual Discord community, and if you're not there yet, you might want to consider joining, that people were talking about it, how much allocation they got. I do have a private channel here, which is only for the pre-sale of the Track Digits community. Track Digits software platform and then Digits community. So this is basically the preamp, but they're talking about their allocations. $17 allocation, and if tier 3 got 56, so 56 would be pretty good, and now they're discussing where you can get highest allocation. Obviously, perks of having private communities like this, right? But yeah, so it's about $42 allocation on Verve. I think with $40, $50, let's count with that. what that would look like. The hype is obviously definitely real. If we look at the engagement, right, that's one thing. So with over 2,400, I just want to pick up the other pads as well, where they're launching, just to have a look at how that's all going, because I think they mentioned, so they're doing a Velas pad as well, so we can pull that one up. So Velas pad, NFT launch, Game Zone, Pulse pad, MetaV pad, to see where basically the hype is the biggest. So Velas pad, official links, website. Just want to pull up all these websites. NFT launch website. Then you got Game Zone. Where's the website? Then we got Pulse pad website, and we got MetaV pad website. All right. So projects, where do we go? Open app, Pulse pad, open app, Game Zone, open app, NFT launch. Where do we open the app? IDOs, Feeless pad, open app. All right, there we go. We got them already. Okay. So MetaV pad has the least participants, 1,274. So assumingly you could get higher allocation here, because they all have, I think, 100K raise. So you're basically looking where the least competition is. Obviously the participants, I don't know the weight of those participants, right? So if there's like less participants but higher staking amounts, you would still get less allocation. But let's just take into consideration that all of these are equal. Then you're just basically looking for the one with the lowest amount. All right, 2,100, 1,800, 1,200, 2,400, 5,200, holy shit, and 1,700. So definitely MetaV pad is the newest platform, right? So definitely probably your best bet as well. I did the IDO, or I did the private round for MetaV pad, I don't know. I did 1,000x on the actual TGE, so I was extremely happy. And then I still get like daily linear vesting from MetaV pad. I actually haven't claimed it ever since the launch, because I'm more looking at this long term, and that's basically the next thing I want to go into. Let's pull up MetaV pad. Let's pull up 3 of these launch pads, because I want to show an indication of the hype, if that's possible. BSC pad, yeah, there we go. And what's the other one? Let's do Game Zone, because there should be an upward trend if these launches are hyped, right? So 7 days, there should be an upward trend, and there is. So basically this upward trend indicates that people are buying the tokens to participate in the next launch, which is a good indicator, because you double the volume. You go from less than 1 million to 2 million, 2.5 million volume, right? And some people are dumping the tokens because obviously they took profit there, but this is, or the snapshot has been taken, but this is a very good indication. There was like a huge purchase here that basically spiked the entire chart, but this shows, in my opinion, that there's definitely interest for this project, right? Last 7 days, small upward trend for BSC pad. And again, not that much for Game Zone. There's a small upward trend, but it's not significant. These dips that happen is basically as soon as the snapshot is taken, some people either unstake or they sell the allocation, or they're just waiting for the trend, right? For people to buy, and as soon as the trend ends, they drop. Because if you want to participate, you would have to stake, and then you get the staking penalty. So I don't think people would unstake. I just think that people do not want to participate in this IDO and just dump the token. They just ride the wave, something I sometimes do as well. So let's look at Pulse pad, just to see if the pattern is there, right? That's the most important thing for me at the moment. So damn, this one, yeah, this one had quite the hype, Pulse pad. How many participants? Very little compared to the rest. So the timing is a little bit different per platform, right? But they all basically work on the same pattern. These one have done a lot of launches, but Verve is open still. Okay, so they all have like 100K cap. So the most difficult question that people ask me always, like, what is the best one to participate? Where is the best one to participate? You don't really know because it really depends on the price of the token, how long you would have to stake relative to how many other people are staking. So the best thing you can do, because Verve is right now, .pad is the next Bluezilla incubated project, which I will cover as well. But the best thing you can do, in my opinion, is track everything you can track from this launch on Verve across all the pads, make all the calculations, which one would be most affordable for which allocation, and then for .pad, assume a similar pattern, right? Doesn't mean that the pattern will be similar, because hundreds of people, thousands of people might do the same thing as you're doing right now. However, I don't think most would, right? Look, 2,500 already. I think most people are too lazy to do the research, to do the work. I'm doing some prep work right now, but I'm not making the full calculation, right? To basically get everything ready. However, looking at the current market conditions, right? Let me just close all this. Let me pull up Bitcoin again. As Bitcoin would be the major mover in my opinion. So we look at Bitcoin, it's about 42K. It's been stable today. It's been quite stable for the last 7 days, which I believe makes the Verve launch, or at least the IDO, will be completed successfully. Look at the freaking demand. Across their 6 launch pads, there's 30,000 people waiting. Most of these people will get a $40 to $50 allocation, right? When we look at something like this, like a $40 to $50 allocation, that is quite small, right? However, if you look at your allocation and then the multiple, right? And I haven't done this in a while, and I know you guys love these sheets. So let's say you have a $40 allocation, right? Which would get you, well, I don't even have to write out the tokens, but it would be nice, because I know you guys love that shit. So here is your allocation, then the token price, where it starts, right? 0.001, which is a multiple of 1, which is your, let's call it gross, and then your net. So your gross would be 40. Okay, so now I would need the tokens. Yeah, in this case. Okay, so tokens is this amount divided by this. So you get 4,000 tokens, right? Okay, 4,000 tokens. Then it depends on how much you would get on TGE, right? So this is TGE gross. And then we do TGE net, which I assume is 10%, right? I'm not too sure, I haven't checked it, but let's assume it's 10%, because I think it's always 10% with Bluezilla. All right, these cases, so what's the gross overall? It is your total tokens times the price. Oh wait, total tokens times the price. That is the gross, right? Then the net is basically the gross minus the cost. Yep, which is 0 then at that point, which is the TGE gross is basically, let me think for a second. Yeah, it's basically your total tokens times 0.1 times basically 10%, right? Times the token price, which is then $4, which the TGE net is basically the same thing, but then with the cost. So it's your allocation times 0.1, right? Minus 4 is again 0. Okay, so now we summarize all this and we pull it down. So we just do this one, or well, we do the multiples, I think. In steps of 10, most likely. I don't think we will do, or well, we can do +5. I think so, that's 5, and then this one is this +5, right? So the token price here is basically the base times the multiple, and then we keep the base fixed for the formula. So keep that orange base fixed. So if we drag this, it will become 10, and that's correct. Then the tokens, they basically stay the same, right? Because we do not get more tokens all of a sudden. So that's fine. Wait, that's not correct. Okay, so we need to fix this one. And then that would stay the same. Perfect. And now let's see if these are correct. Okay, this one is not correct. Okay, we need to fix this one, because the cost it stays the same. Bang. Minus, that is unlikely. Maybe the formula is not correct. So it's the base times 0.1, which basically gives us $4, right? Minus, hang on, so that's 4 minus 20. No, it's the gross amount minus the allocation. We did it the other way, guys. What are we doing? So it's the gross amount, right? What we receive. I don't need to do that. I just need to do this. Yeah. Minus the allocation times 0.1, which is 0. In that case, we just need to fix this one. And then we're good. Yep, there we go. Okay, so we take this. Now we just drag it out. So it could do 100x, which would basically you would see 10 cents, right? In that case, your gross would be 40,000 tokens times 10 cents. You make 4,000 bucks, right? Your net would be initial investments this, and this is what you make on TG. Okay, so let's say we go up to 250x, right? I don't think it will do 250x, but let's just pull it down to 250x. So the major milestones would be 250x. I'm just going to color them for you. Then probably in that case as well, 150x, 100x, 50x, right? So overall, if you only had a $40 allocation, you're not doing too bad, right? Because you still make about 2,000 bucks here. It obviously depends how high your allocation is. We could change this to 50, right? And the numbers change a lot more significant. Let's assume we can still thrive for 100x. This would be an extremely successful launch. 50 bucks in, 5K out. Now, the most important thing to consider when you make these calculations, because these launches are quite hyped, right? So they will never stick around the all-time high. This one did 1000x, then dropped back to 295x right now. So still really, really good. Literally unheard of, mostly. I assume this will do a maximum of 100x, right? Which will bring the market cap to about 20 million, which I think is still realistic for a project like this. But then it will drop. So on your initial vesting, you might make, 495 bucks profit. But on the second vesting, you might only make 345 profit. So you need to take that into consideration when making your entire calculation. If you would only look at these two, you're counting yourself too rich, because it's unlikely. These projects pump to the all-time high usually at the beginning, right, on the initial launch date. So do take that into consideration. I don't think that will be consistently occurring, right? However, are they extremely profitable? Yes. The only thing you need to take into consideration with these hype projects is that you look at the launchpad, you look at how much allocation you're going to get, what is the cost of that allocation. Because if you were going to get in here, right, and this price is dropping below 25 later or when you unstake it, then you need to count in that loss as additional cost in the cost column, right? So as your investment, right? Not only the allocation, but you have some opportunity cost carrying right there by having to stake those tokens to get allocation. That is what you need to make a mathematical equation of. You can do this in Excel, just like I'm doing right now. Depending on what the actual price turns out to be. You can track this live, right? You can update it once a day, see how much a drop is. Is there a drop? Then yes, do take those additional costs into account, in my opinion. If there's no drop, then you have that benefit, right? And you might even take some profit on the token wave as well. But what we know with the IDO launches, as soon as the staking becomes unlocked, the token drops. Therefore, one strategy I've mentioned in the past, it is not that strange of an idea. When I joined MetaVPAT launch, I did 1000x to not sell the tokens, to just hold on to them to get continuous allocation moving forward, right? With Verve, that's obviously not the case because it's a streaming platform, but I will cover that in more detail, how that works in the .pad launch, which coming up later this month. So make sure, if you're interested in that, to subscribe to the channel, and I will cover that in the near future. I can't wait for this launch. I'm super pumped, super excited. I hope that the TGE will happen quickly after the actual launch. We might be able to check the Telegram announcements just to see if there's anything there, but I think they're just focused on completing the IDO for now. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, see, IDO is open. Staking ability. Okay, Pancake Swap. All right, 3 p.m. UTC. WagU Swap 3:30. So basically, it's happening today, the actual listing, at about 3 p.m. UTC to 3:30 p.m. UTC, just after the first come first serve rounds, and here are all the times. So if you want to stay up to date, join the VerveTV official announcements on Telegram, which you can basically find on their Twitter, but also on their website. Super pumped, just like under 6 hours left until this launch is happening. I hope for 100x, but who knows. Make sure you do your own calculations, whatever fits your budget, whatever fits your risk tolerance, because that's basically what this is all about. This could go extremely well, but it could also go extremely bad if you do not do your research. And obviously I was here to assist you with all the information I got. I hope you will enjoy yourself with this amazing day, with this amazing launch coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.